was a beautifully flighted free kick by Russell Coughlin. The Chester defence didn't know where to go, but Paul Baker did. He got his head on it, and Torquay are back in this game. Watson gets the flick. Thomas goes in for it. Baker's there with the overhead kick, and he's scored for Torquay. Or has he? The referee isn't happy. As the throw-in came in, Watson got the flick on. Baker went up for it, and as he tried the overhead kick, which was successful, it went into the net. Jackson got a clash on the head, and the referees disallowed the goal.
It's now that we have finished bottom that you start obviously looking at Stevenage and Woking's results and this and that. But who knows? I mean, the important thing now, as far as I'm concerned, is that we've got 3 games left, and I'd like to see 3 really, you know, rip-roaring performances and finish the season on a high. Pressure's off us a little bit now, and maybe that will happen.
Are you looking at all to next season?
Well, I mean, you look forward and you put certain plans into the position, but again, it depends, you know, what league we're in. That's what you have to look at, you know. But I've got ideas of what I'm going to do next year, irrespective of what league we're in.
So there's confirmation of Torquay's wooden spoon position, but with Stevenage winning and Woking only managing a draw in the conference, it looks pretty certain that there'll still be league football at Playmore next season. And Torquay are back in action on Tuesday night up at Mansfield. Well, all league survival hopes. United, of course, condemned to the wooden spoon already, but hoping that Stevenage and their below-par ground go on and win the conference. First, let's catch up with Torquay's home game against Cambridge. Our commentator, Dave Croft.
Good ball for Richards to try and chase on to. Newland came for it well, very bravely indeed. Watson, the captain, swings and a ball to the far post. Baker climbs and it's just over the bar. Played forward for Richards to run into. Newland off his line quickly, so no danger there. Baker misses the header, but Preston runs on well. He's into the area, will try a shot and brings the first save of the game out of Scott Barrett. Long ball aimed for Baker, who was being held by Vowden. And the referee has given a free kick in a very dangerous position for Cambridge United. Baker is, he tries the shot and just past the post. The heading tennis going on at the moment. Coughlin beaten by a very determined challenge by Paul Wanless. Tries an effort from all of 40 yards. Good work from Edinburgh, though. Finds Granville out on that far side and a block by Michael Preston. Corner swung in, the keeper's missed it, and it's into the back of the net by Paul Wanless. It was swung over from that far side. As you can see, Newland missed it altogether. Wanless dived in, the ball in the back of the net. And it's Torquay 0, Cambridge 1. Newland getting some barracking from the home supporters. His goal kick is played forward. Richards has run into the area, tries the shot, hits the bar, and rebounds straight into the grateful arms of Ray Newland. Coughlin picks up possession. Good ball for Charlie Oatway. Oatway tries a great save by the Cambridge keeper. Baker heads on, it's picked up by Oatway. Takes it to the byline. Skips past the defender well. Low cross in, looking for Ellis Late, who got the final touch, but it goes over the bar. Pass from Gary Monk going well astray though, and Richards is in some space. Monk called out of position. Richards into the area. Newland off his line slowly gets his first save in. Still Richards back for Beale with a low shot, and that's 2. It took a deflection, but it mattered not. The United defence was stretched beyond belief, and sloppy play at the back has cost Torquay United the second goal. Can't keep possession, it's flicked on by Beale. Benjamin chasing after it. Wins the headers, could fall for Richards, who blasts the shot in. Says the referee as Beale picks up possession for Cambridge. The cross is blocked by Monk. Bedo brings it clear forward, looking for Thomas. He stops in his tracks, and in the clear is Hyde, has taken it round Newland. This will be 3. It's very, very easily finished. They all stopped looking for the linesman's flag. And the only man that kept running was Micah Hyde. And he's made it Cambridge 3, Torquay 0.
Well, despite that 3-0 defeat, Torquay will still be playing in the 3rd Division next season. Stevenage clinched the conference title yesterday. This 1-1 draw, coupled with Woking's 3-0 defeat at Northwich Victoria, secured United's Football League survival. Stevenage behind early on, but hitting back with Brown's crucial 76th minute equaliser. That was enough to take Stevenage and their much-talked-about ground 8 points clear at the top of the table, and with just 2 games left, they can't be overtaken. And if you can bear to look, here's the bottom of Division 3, Torquay 11 points adrift, with just their final game at Lincoln remaining. So plenty for manager Eddie May to think about as he considers his Playmore future over the next couple of days.
Well, I'm going to make a statement about my future probably Monday and Tuesday, and I'm going to wait till then.
And we can't expect any revelations beforehand?
No, not at all, not at all.
But you can't be happy with the way things have gone?
No, I mean, it's looking at the situation and if you can do anything about the situation. But as I say, you know, I've been talking about this, and I took everything into consideration, and you know, I should talk about it again on Monday or Tuesday.
The decisions with regard to next season will be announced on the Monday after the final league game, whatever date that is. And I'm making no comment at all on anything to do with the club.
You wouldn't tell us what those decisions might be, not the outcome, but what the thinking is?
Oh, I mean, clearly we've got to put the whole thing in the melting pot, playing-wise. I mean, everything really is going for him. Certainly, at one time, a few years ago, I was accused of paying peanuts and getting monkeys. Well, we ain't paying peanuts now, but there's probably still a few monkeys around.
The thing now is that the club's got to make sure that this never happens again for Torquay United Football Club.
Do you think that will happen?
Well, that's up to the chairman of the board.
And we'll have all the news from Torquay and the uncertain future of manager Eddie May here on West Country. Well, before we go, let's catch up with some local examined by Seth Conway in his football diary.
A 3-0 home defeat against Cambridge signalled the end of Eddie May's managerial career at Playmore. The result wasn't really that important, as Torquay were already consigned to bottom place. But when Don O'Riordan left the goals following an embarrassing 8-1 reverse against Scunthorpe last October, there was a feeling of increased optimism. Things were about to change. Unfortunately, in 31 games under May, Torquay managed maximum points just 4 times. And that, combined with disappointing performances, was the recipe for change at Playmore. As May steps down, Torquay chairman Mike Bateson will take his time before announcing a new appointment. Attention will now turn to Stevenage, who still haven't given up hope of league status for next season. But if the new town wants to be a new Football League club, then the only way they'll do it is through the courts.
So Eddie May in charge of Torquay for the last time yesterday. United rounding off their miserable season up at Lincoln. And our report comes from Trina Lake.
Torquay fans have grown used to disappointment this season, and the ones who travelled to Sincil Bank yesterday didn't have to wait long for their first dose of dismay. The game was just 2 minutes old when the unmarked Colin Alside put Lincoln ahead. The home side had to wait another 54 minutes before breaking through again, and this time it came from the penalty spot. Gary Monk brought down Steve Brown, and although the young defender protested his innocence, Middlesbrough referee Graham Frankland had no doubts. Jason Barnett scored from the spot and, rather like Torquay's defence, tends to take it all lying down. Lincoln had the scent of success in their nostrils, and within a couple of minutes they were 3-0 up. Torquay's back line caught on the back foot, and Alside powered past them all to beat the luckless Ray Newland. The Imps were falling over themselves to congratulate the goalscorer, and why not after such a confident finish? But the misery didn't end there for Torquay on an afternoon that must have been particularly disappointing for player-coach Kevin Hodges. He was making his 600th league appearance and must have hoped to mark such a memorable milestone a little more auspiciously. But he could only stand and watch as substitute Brett Story's superb volley made it 4-0. The rout was completed 4 minutes from time when Steve Holmes put the ball through Newland's legs for Lincoln's 5th.
I've tried everything. You know, youngsters have been in different, formations and all this type of thing. And really, it's personnel. You know, you've got to look at the situation and say, well, can we change it this way, change it that way? And you can't. It's down to personnel. And at the end of the day, you've got to say we weren't good enough.
The home support's been tremendous, the away support. I mean, I'm gobsmacked by them, to be truthful. I mean, they turn up. I mean, today I think we've had, best part of 100 people here on what is for Torquay United a nothing game. We're going nowhere, but they still turn out in force. And I really would love to be able for the team to turn it on for them, but, it ain't to be.
It's all eyes on you now, isn't it? The appointment of the new manager.
Yep.
There's a lot of names being bandied about.
Loads. Yeah.
I mean, can we safely say at this point that there's one or two that are discounted, or can we discount nobody? Neil Webb is one that I'm thinking of.
I haven't spoken to Neil Webb. He hasn't spoken to me. That was conjured up by the press. As far as I know, Neil's got no coaching experience, and I probably won't. In fact, certainly won't proceed with that one at all.
Well, Scarborough lost at Gillingham yesterday, so the final gap at the bottom is 11 points. The worst season in Torquay's history, and it goes without saying that Mike Bateson has an awful lot to sort out at Playmore in the next few months. Well, that just about rounds
Following
off
Saturday's end-of-season defeat at Lincoln, those going include Ashley Bayes, Tom Kelly, Russell Coughlin and Paul Ramsey. Paul Baker goes on the transfer list at his own request. Exeter City